What's up, everyone? This is RJ from Gaming News USA, back today with another NFL recap. And Week 9 is in the books. The Steelers and the 49ers had bye weeks, and we're going to jump right into all the games that were played this week. But first, please remember to hit the subscribe button. Much appreciated. Let's jump right into what happened Thursday night. We had the Texans and the Jets. I thought for sure the Texans had it won. The Jets' season was really on the line here. I still think they suck. But they were able to win the game 21-13 despite a receiver dropping a touchdown out of celebration at the one. Didn't matter. They pressured C.J. Stroud all night long. All night long. And the Jets were able to get the win. Fuck the Jets. Then we have the games from the early window on Sunday. The Falcons beat the Cowboys 27-21. The Cowboys, of course, are the master of garbage time. And they did not look good this game at all. I always predict every Cowboys game correctly. I could tell you every single time they're going to win. I could tell you every single time they're going to lose. And I knew they were going to lose. Falcons are looking nice and sharp after starting the year a little on the side of things. Dak Prescott had a hamstring injury. They're injury-ridden. Guys, they're not going to make the playoffs. Write them off. Then next up, we have Buffalo versus Miami. Miami has shown signs of life with Tua coming back, but they still haven't won a game since he's come back. The Bills win on a 61-yard field goal, 30-27. What a kick by Tyler Bass. I saw this happen. He could have made it from 71. And let me tell you, the Bills are rolling. They got this division on lock. They are going to clinch this division before anybody else, even the Chiefs, clinch their division. Because look at who's are in the Bills division. You got the Dolphins are like 2-6. The Patriots are 2-6. The Jets are 3-6. And the Bills have the tiebreaker over them. And the Bills are like 7-2, I think. So yeah, the Bills are rolling in that division. Meanwhile, the Dolphins, they're on their last legs. Then we had the Raiders and Bengals. Bengals in an absolute must-win. You can't lose to the Raiders after you just lost to the Eagles. They didn't. The Bengals are fighters, man. They put up 41 points. Joe Burrow, 5 touchdowns. They give you just enough hope that maybe, just maybe, they can find their way to the playoffs, and they would be an extremely dangerous team if they do get there. Defense still has issues, though. Raiders, they're rebuilding. They traded away Devontae Adams. They don't care about winning this season, so why should I care about talking about them? Then next up, we got the Chargers absolutely molly-whopping the Browns 27-10. I still don't know how the Browns or why the Browns beat the Ravens last week, but it's the NFL. It happens. Well, guess what? They came crashing back down to earth. The Chargers are a serious playoff threat, and Harbaugh is turning them around immediately, giving them a new identity of being tough, badass motherfuckers. And the Chargers get the win. Browns are looking for the number 1 pick and trying to get out of Deshaun Watson's deal. Then next up, we have the Patriots and Titans. Patriots score on the last play of the game. My Patriots score a touchdown on the very last play of the game. And you're going to notice this is a theme here. You have the option. Go for 1 to send it to overtime, or take the 2 and try to win it with your offense on 1 play. I'm screaming. Go for the 2. Go for the 2. You are fucking 2-6. Who cares? Anyway, they kick the extra point. Guess what? They lose it overtime. So I think every team in the NFL has at least 2 wins, I believe now. So I guess the good news is we're back in the hunt for the number 1 pick. Shoot me. But, yeah, both these teams rebuilding. Then next up, we got Washington taking care of business against the Giants 27-22. It's now expected Washington wins games like these, and they were able to win the game even though it was close. Jayden Daniels looking like the Rookie of the Year and still putting up numbers and still impressing everyone. They're a serious team this year. Now, next year, really watch out. But this year, they're kind of serious, guys. It's time to take note. How about the Saints having the worst losing streak in the NFL? After starting 2-0, they have now lost 7 in a row. The Saints have lost to the lowly Carolina Panthers 23-22. And that resulted in Dennis Allen getting fired. And Carolina was able to get the win. And Bryce Young is now on the longest winning streak of his career. 1 game. This is just as bad as the Titans and Patriots. Rebuilding organizations. Honestly, how were we ever fooled to think the Saints were actually good after being 2-0 is beyond me. They may finish worse in that division than the Panthers. Then next up, we got the Baltimore Ravens absolutely kicking the Denver Broncos fucking ass all over the field, 41-10, and it could have been worse than that. It was a Detroit Lions style, opening up a can of whoop ass. I'm gonna lay my feet on your fucking sofa and make your wife make me a fucking sandwich while she holds a soda and I drink it and you watch kind of game. You know what I'm saying? Stomp the mud hole in them walking dry. The Ravens, when they play piss, there ain't a goddamn team on this planet that can stop them. Derrick Henry, over 100 rushing touchdowns in his career. He's one of the 5 best running backs of all time, in my humble opinion. I think he's past Adrian Peterson, has the best running back of this generation. Next up, we're going to the later window of Sunday games. The Eagles hold on to beat the Jags 28-23. The Eagles find themselves on a hot streak. They're winning game after game after game. They're right on Washington's ass. And the doubters are quietly, like Nick Wright, quietly quieting down their disdain for the Eagles because they're getting shut up right now by Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni. And so they've gone, shh, radio silent. You hear that? I don't hear any more Eagle talk. Do you? Jacksonville, meanwhile, lost another game that they maybe could have won. What else is new? Doug Peterson, it's time for your walking papers like Dennis Allen any day now. How about the Arizona Cardinals defeating the Chicago Bears 29-9? And that sort of brings up the title of this NFL recap, the Wild Wild West, particularly the NFC West, where you have the Cardinals leading the division. The Cardinals at 5-4. You have the 49ers and the Rams at 4-4. More on the Rams later. And you have the Seahawks at 4-5. More on the Seahawks later. There's a chance only one of these 4 teams are making the playoffs, and it could come down to who wins this division. And it is going to be a fun race to watch the rest of the year. If you look at all the other divisions, we think the Chiefs mostly have the AFC West rode up. The Texans have the AFC South mostly rode up. Unless there's collapses, of course. The Bills have the AFC East mostly rode up. And the North kind of looks like a fight between the Ravens and the Steelers, right? And in the NFC side of things, the Lions have a little bit of an edge over their opponents. And the NFC East looks like it's Eagles, Washington fighting for it. NFC South looks like the Falcons got some edge over the Bucks. But this NFC West division, of all the division races to watch, this is the one to be most intrigued by. I don't know how many of these teams will actually hit the wild card because the NFC North is so good this year. And the Bucks are pretty good in the South as well. The East has 2 good teams. It is a competitive NFC. this is a much better NFC than we've seen in previous years, for sure. And the NFC West has me so intrigued. And we got another game from them that I'll talk about right now. The Rams were able to beat the Seahawks 26-20 in overtime. Again, another situation where the Seahawks drove the ball down the field, scored a touchdown, and they had a choice to make. Kick the one and go to overtime, or go for two and go for the win. And they were pussies and they kicked the one. They go to overtime. What happens? Rams win the game. And that's what set up this craziness where all four of these teams are within a game of each other, all beating each other around 500. And they're all teams that could be really good too. But none of them are in the top 10 right now in any power rankings. But they're really actually solid teams. But they will be fighting each other for that division title and a home playoff game. Next up, we got the Lions beating the Packers in Green Bay 24-14. The score was closer than how the game actually played out because I thought the Lions thoroughly whooped their ass. The Lions have been opening up can of whoop ass after can of whoop ass every single week. It reminds me of Stone Cold in 1998. Legitimately, the Lions are impossible to push around. I mean, I don't know what to do with them at this point. They'll just manhandle you and beat you down. And that's what they did to Green Bay in this game. Then we had Sunday Night Football. The famed Joe Flacco takes over for Anthony Richardson after he tapped his head and wanted a tap out of the game the previous week. They go, oh, you want out, little buddy? Okay, you're benched! Flacco, you're in! And you know what good old Joe does? Doesn't score a single fucking offensive touchdown. Doesn't even get to the red zone. In fact, the only reason this game was competitive at all was because the Vikings couldn't find their footing. They were on a 2-game slide coming into this, and they really couldn't figure a shit out early. They actually fumbled the ball and let the Colts score a defensive touchdown. The Vikings have a true blue amazing defense, though, and Flacco just fell flat. And the Vikings are back on track after that win. And that leads me to Monday Night Football. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Kansas City Chiefs, both teams injury-ridden in the rain. The Bucs, once again, the third team this week to have this opportunity. They score a touchdown. They're down 1 with 27 seconds left. What do? Do we kick the 1? No. Do we go for the 2? We should. The 2 for the win, 1 for the tie to overtime. And what do? They go for the 1! Why would you ever do that? I don't know why these teams keep going for the 1 and go to overtime. And then they lose. The Chiefs end up winning 30-24 because they win the coin toss. Baker, why would you call tails? You never call tails at a coin toss. You always call heads. You just do. Buddy. And it's especially egregious the Bucs didn't go for 2 because they were the 9-point underdog on the road to the undefeated, back-to-back, defending, reigning world champs. And they kick an extra point instead. You deserve to lose that game because you didn't have any fucking balls to go for the win. So anyway, Chiefs remain undefeated 8-0. And we're on to Cincinnati for NFL Week 10 versus the Ravens. So anyway, guys, did you like that NFL recap? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Who do you think is going to win the NFC West? Until next time, I'm out. Have a good one. Peace.